morning. Yes, right now it's Monday morning. Good morning, Monday. The time is about 5:54 a.m. in the morning. Yes, it is October 25, 2021. I got up, um, waking about maybe 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. I was just going over my head um, my early morning vision that I have for the day, for today. Um, Interesting. Yeah, before this week, I haven't really been seeing much because I was getting out to um, do my morning walks. But I guess I'm just staying a little longer, do more contemplation upon awakening from dreaming. Yeah, I was dreaming, and then I had the vision, and I'll talk about both. Just I guess for more clarity, maybe somehow they're related. Yeah, this is a beautiful Manhattan skyline that you see. Yeah, how beautiful it is. I find it very peaceful. That's why I also show it. Yeah, I'm just getting up. I'm still in bed. So yeah, let me go. Let me start. Um, the last thing I remember, I know I was with other people, but at one point I was in a thrift store, looked like a thrift store, very crowded, and the surface had a lot of debris and a lot of stuff. And I think I had a purse or something. Okay, I'm having connection difficulties. Yeah, it just shut off. And the batteries are full, it's at 100%, so now I know it's not the battery. Yeah, so let me proceed. So, the tippet had a lot of stuff, and I remember I had my purse. It was on the left side, and I know there was change or money, and I said, "Oh, my money came out of my bag. I better, put the thing in, put it back in my purse." But I wasn't really um, urgent about it. And then I remember seeing, um, I remember two women at one point. Yeah, two West Indian women, dark-skinned West Indian women. Um, Average height. They were, I think, shorter than me though, but considered average height. Um, Slightly, big boned. And one was across from me, and one was to my side, but both about the same distance apart from me. And the one in front of me says, "Oh, my money. Oh, that must be my money." I was like, "No, well, no, that was my money." And I think the one across from me was putting money in a purse. And I'm thinking in my head, that was my money. I should have put my money back right away. Then I saw by my purse, or a lot of, junk on the surface. It was a low surface. It was like waist high. Um, I started picking up change and, fishing through the debris or whatever what it was, items. And there would change. I remember the silver color change, just change. But in hindsight, I didn't recognize all the change. When I really think about it, it looked kind of different. Yeah, because now Um, Places aren't using change anymore. They can't give you change. I've been using my debit card for years. Once in a blue moon, I might use my bills, but hardly ever. Um, let's see what else. Yeah. Um, and then I think I walked away from the table and I noticed that I had on, di- I know there was some distractions and I was looking for things. I don't remember why I was there, but I remember at one point when I looked down at myself, I saw I had on this mink coat. I had picked up a mink coat to try on. And I said to myself, boy, this is a big, bulky coat. I don't want to make me look like some homeless lady. I don't want to have something like this on. For me, it just flared out so big. It looked real big in it. And I felt it looked dumpy on me. And I had stuff underneath. I had on, I think, 3 layers. They were open. I had the mink coat on the outside. And then I noticed there was a wool coat underneath, slimmer fitting, and nice texture wool coat. It had like little the the texture of the coat had little baby loops, like a quarter of an inch loop throughout it. The colors were earth colors that I really like. I would love a coat like that. Um, it ran horizontal. It was like a mustard brown and then a reddish brown horizontal stripes. Really, I liked it. That was open, it wasn't buttoned, and then I think I had another layer underneath that. I remember seeing like 3 layers, 2 to 3 layers. I think it was three. And then I had a dress on, and I was feeling self conscious because the dress, like, they had buttons up in front, buttoned down with the dress. And in between the dresses like open, and you could see that I had underwear and stuff. And I felt naked. I said, I gotta. Oh, I think that's why I put the coat on, because I wanted to cover the dress I was wearing. And I remember towards the end of the dream, I was saying to myself, I gotta bring this coat back. I don't want someone to think I'm stealing somebody's coat. This I doubt someone would leave a coat like this. Let me just put it back, just in case, something like that. I know there's a lot of other things in between. There were different people that I saw, Caucasians or something. I know there's a brief dialogue. I don't remember the details. Oh, I can't stand when I don't remember the other details. Um, Upon awakenings, when I had the vision, the early morning vision, upon awakening from dreaming or sleeping, um, I just keep my eyes closed. I didn't open them. And I saw um, some things. Sorry. I saw, what was that? Yeah, another outdoor scene. Yeah, it seems like now the theme that I'm seeing is outdoors and gardening. Yeah, I saw a some property. I was on some property. It was daylight, seemed quiet, um, and it reminded me of the property where my mother lives. There's a strip. Oh, that they have a fig tree, and it looked like that strip of grass or property. the shape. That's what it reminded me of when I was seeing it. Yes, good morning, Vera. Good morning. Good morning. So the vision, it was, it seemed like, there were, things were green. Yeah, saw grass, and there was soil also. The soil was very rich, a rich dark color, and these little shrub, I don't know what we call it, these plants. They're low running plant. Some people call them weeds. They were in clusters throughout it. But other than that, it seemed very well kept. Everything was precise, neat. They were they were the type of plants that grow close to the ground, that spread out in circular shapes. The leaves were flat and round, little baby one, like each leaf or petal, um, like a third of an inch in diameter, and I think it was flat and round. Um, and the camera was as if I had a camera, was moving from side to side quickly. And what else? Oh, then I remember seeing there was pavement. The pavement was interesting. It was a dark gray, like it was gray in color, all of it, but one part of it was like a medium light, and the other one was a medium dark. And I'm not sure of the order of it, but they were in horizontal strips. Um, each strip could have been about a foot in width, and they were alternating colors, the light against the dark against the light and dark, strip. And I remember the camera, as if I had a camera viewing all this, going side to side to try to get a view of everything. Nicely done. Um, I'm not sure the order, meaning, okay, if the medium light strip, okay, that strip, it could have been smooth texture. Yeah, I think that one was the smooth texture. And then the darker gray strip was bumpy in texture and altered. So it gave a variety, texture, dimension to it. It was very nicely done. I've never seen anything like that on a pavement. And in hindsight, it reminded me of um, the driveway where my parents live. That's what it looked like. That's what it reminded me of. That alternating shades of this gray, one smooth and one bumpy. And it's like almost, I think like a I guess a special type of cement that had texture to it. One made smooth, and the other one kept bumpy, like daytime. And then the leaves appeared. So it's really interesting because it seemed like a summery thing, or maybe spring. Things were green. And then the leaves appeared. And as we know now, we're in autumn. So it's as if that it now wants me to think it was autumn, And yeah, the leaves started. You saw the leaves blowing against um, the ground where I was looking at before. Um, what I'm thinking as I'm thinking about what I just saw, I'm wondering whether whether it's something more futuristic. I used to have dreams about my parents' home, and over the years, the house first the house was going through a changes in its structure that like each time I would dream about that house, the house was going through being broken down, like construction workers. Some of the dreams that had construction workers dismantling. It was being uh, the house was, as I remember, was going to. Sorry about that. The disconnect. It was getting disconnected again. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening. Yeah, and the battery is fully charged. Yeah, it was at 100% when I started. What I'm thinking, um, yeah, with the dream that I used to have with that same parents' property, over time, it more and more removal of what I remember the house. And oh, and one of the last things, it was a fire. I know it sounds crazy, but I think it was symbolic. The dreams that I realize now is symbolic of transformation, and it really a transformation about my life, about me, which was actually something very positive. But it represented through the house. Yeah, I didn't like the house. I mean, it was physically a nice place, but I didn't enjoy living there, to be honest. Um, and I really don't even want to go there now. But I remember at one point there was a fire even, and one of the members was um, met their demise. It was really weird. And then the following dreams after that dream, a fire is a complete annihilation, and the people involved. And then future dreams after that was about restoration. Restoration. Then there were people, builders now, building on that site, making repairs. And I thought it was something. And then I think the very last dream that I remember having, I liked it actually. It was very positive. The last real dream, um, and I believe that it symbolized that it was complete transformation. Uh, the house had it was some type of gathering, and people, new people. I assume that they now occupy the house. It was a South Asian family, like from India, that type. That's what they looked like. And they had tables set up by the big pine tree, and they had yeah, it was exotic looking fruit. Like the pine tree now had this exotic, really weird shaped fruit. They were big. They were long and funny points on them. I never seen anything like it in real life. And the table had a nice white tablecloth and tons of different types of foods and everything. and there were children and there were adults there, and they're all very festive. And yeah, so for me, um, it was about, for me, I felt there was a transformation. I think I made mention of that dream in the past because it seemed to have a big impact. It was really symbolic in a positive way. And it's also to document the different things, dreams, because I don't know whether they were, it's to be prophetic or not. I believe it's symbolic and prophetic that I believe the new owners are going to be, definitely they're going to be South Asian, and they're going to do well to the house. Yeah, my instinct. They're going to treat the house very well. Um, yeah, boy, I'm remembering this now. Yeah, and um, and I remember another dream. I was on a bus, and I was hugging a late. Yeah, we were sitting towards the back of the bus. The women were wearing modern. It seemed like modern clothes, and the woman that I was hugging was talking to another woman to her right, and she seemed a little socially not as uh, I don't want to sound judgmental, but it's just an awareness. Um, Dressed more, not as money, I think she had shiny fabric, had sequins on it. They were both South Asian women, like they looked like from India, dark complected. The one that the lady that I was hugging next to her was a darker complexion in comparison to the one that I was hugging. I don't know any of these ladies, and I felt that I was a little child, because where for me to hug her where I was hugging, I would have to be a tiny person, and I was hugging her waist. My arms were I was sitting down next to her, and my arms were around her, and she was a big lady. She was a heavy set woman, and I remember I felt very comforted hugging her. I felt safe. Yeah, this was something. And so I was wondering, I guess I mentioned these two dreams right now because I felt there's a connection between me and India, the country of India, or that location. Somehow I do not have that. I'm not of that background in this life, but I feel very strongly that there is a connection between me and those people. I don't know whether it's a, yeah, because it looked like um, it seemed modern to me. Definitely the house, you know, the people at the house, uh, modern times, everything modern. It was very positive, very fruitful. I remember I wanted to eat up the food because it just seemed very inviting. It was a bright sunny day. Everything was at its peak of fruition. Is this a parallel life? What else? So I'm thinking with today's vision and the driveway. Um, what is this? And I think yesterday, I think yesterday morning also, I had a brief vision upon waking up. Yeah, I remember again as if I'm holding a camera, It was moving side to side and up and down. There were tall trees. Sle- um, yeah, very tall, lean trees. And I think there was soil also. Yeah, it hit the ground. Very rich color. Yeah, all outdoors. Um, wasn't as dark. I thought like today's thing was a little brighter in color. I meant the light. And yesterday's was a lower lower light. It wasn't as much sunlight. It was on the darker side. It was very interesting. Very, very interesting. I love nature, as you guys know. I go out virtually every day to walk in the park, get close to nature, and I think that's the trick. And I think that's the trick of the pandemic. I don't want to say that word. I strongly believe getting out there in nature, dress for the weather. Sometimes I'm not don't feel as warmly dressed. I have to be careful because when you switching back and forth, if you're not dressed properly, you can catch a cold if you get too, you don't stay comfortable. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was just okay yesterday. Yeah. Keep try to keep warm in this weather, but I strongly feel the air and everything will be revitalizing and heal your body if you get that bug. Yeah. I'm not sure whether I'll go out today. If I mean, I can still make it and go out the time that I usually go out today. Yeah. Since now the sun comes out later, um, I don't like. Yeah, because remember I mentioned it was September 1st. Someone tried to mug me, literally right next door to the entrance of my building, and I was about maybe 12 feet away. And right then, and luckily my doorman was watching me leave. Luckily, luckily he was there that day. Yeah, yeah, I may have to talk. I want to talk to my super. Um, it's sometimes people, I don't want to, see, I don't want to get people in trouble. But sometimes people, let me go there. Let me go there, people. I need to go there because it's something I have to overcome. Sometimes you're afraid because you're afraid. And you're afraid, life had taught you growing up, keep your mouth closed to try to protect yourself. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to make waves. Now I pay my rent here. It's a great building. But sometimes people are socially programmed. I know I'm going a little off topic, but I think it's important. And this is about my spiritual journey and about asserting myself. And I have to improve myself. I don't want to be in the same mindset. I need to progress. Um, in New York City, um, I would say 99.9% of the doormen, concierge, are people from a particular ethnic group. I'm not a part of that ethnic group. And sometimes there is what we call, to say it nicely, colorism slash bigotry slash racial bias. And it could be subtle at times. And yes, I'm one of the few black people in my building, black non Hispanic. And they had three people at the desk early yesterday morning. One seemed to be training or helping one of instructing a newer guy, and I think one of the other guys, seasoned, who've been there for years, is in towards the back. And as you know, I had my stroller, and it's dead quiet. No one's up really, and I'm the only one. And I'm going through the lobby, and then I approach at the door, and he wasn't heading towards the door, seeing me, because you know we have a doorman, and you should go open the door. So I didn't see him make any effort, so I stopped in front of the desk and look at, and they're like, yeah, type of look at me. And I said politely, would you please open the door? I have a stroller. And then I paused. I said, I have a stroller. It's a big ass stroller. So he just resolutely, okay, he didn't verbalize anything, but as if he's saying, okay, but he was hesitant. And then he opens the door. I said, thank you. Have a nice day. And left. And I was angry because that individual, now I used to, during my school days, we used to talk. He was very pleasant. We used to talk in the elevator. He used to, help me upstairs if I forgot my key. He would open the door. He had his spare keys. Everything was very positive, very, nice. And then one day he just, again, no one, he's the only one in the lobby, at the desk. And I just said, hey, do I have any mail? I meant to say package. So, did you check? And real flippant like. I said, well, I don't use email. And he said something flip again. Just check if I have any mail / package. He was a smart ass. Oh, I was livid. I was livid, boy. Yeah. It was the same guy that wouldn't open up um, the door for me. Now, I take this personal. When I first entered the building, um, again, most of the people spent, I've been in this building for over 18 years. And, yeah, there was an incident. And I was walking slowly in the lobby, and I had two heavy packages, real bulky. And some feet in front of me was a young white girl, like in her early 20s, and she's running across the lobby to get to the exit door. She had a little puppy, really cute, on a leash, and they're running across. And guess what happens? The people at the desk run also to open the door for the young white lady with the little puppy. Other than that, she had nothing in her hands. And then it was my turn when I was about to approach the desk where the concierge and the doorman are. They didn't get up, and they didn't open the door for me. I'm twice that lady's age, have big packages, and I was embarrassed. And I remember the rage that I had, very filled with rage and anger. I was hurt. And so, yeah, if you're listening out there, your thoughts, what you would think I should do. But I remember, even though that incident happened a very long time ago, I never forgot it and I never forgot how it made me feel. And I feel sometimes that they are uh, biased, that they show favoritism, I should say. They show favoritism to whites. Sometimes I hear them talking to these people like, hey, you know, good, trying to like their best friends and all that. If they're a white guy, as I'm thinking, where do you know this guy from for you to talk so familiar with them? And so with me, they're very distant. Um, and it seemed phony. And with me, it's like a distance. They're not polite. There's very I'm a very quiet person. Um, I only go to them, if you have a package, um, or a guest comes, but they're not as I don't know. They're not as polite. I've been there for 18 years, and it's like a wall between us. But one of the people I am cordial with, he was there from the very beginning of the building. Yeah, we talk. It's a formality, but polite. He's a good fellow, and he just hired another person. Well, actually, maybe he's been there a year now. Very nice. Goes out his way, but no Americans. No Americans, and I start to take it personal that they're treating me one way, that like I'm not important enough. But I felt that if I were a white man, they will open the door. But because I'm a black female, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I feel. Because of what I am, they don't think I'm important, or I could just open the door myself. Um, yeah, so I would like to talk to the super. Um, I didn't want to go to the office because I said, it's Sunday. He might be, maybe it's his day off or he's taking, sleeping later. I said, not Sunday, but I want to go today. See, sometimes people do think they're not like conscious of what they're doing, but they're socially programmed to act a certain way. To act a certain way if it's a particular race of person or the socioeconomic, or we all have prejudices or programs to treat people a certain way based on their socioeconomic. I'm being honest. And sometimes we're not conscious of our behavior. But I'm paying you. I live there. You guys all know me. I've been there from almost the very beginning. Um I've been over 18 and a half years. About 18 and a half years. And I deserve respect. I I'm quiet. I pay my rent. I don't have any, it's just a lack of respect. What would you guys do if you feel that there was you're being treated biasly because maybe of your race or gender when it comes to service? If you have a doorman and a concierge, yeah, it's supposed to be a doorman and a concierge 24/7. And you know what else? And I made mention about this, that At one time, it was in August, yeah. The month of August, there were three incidences that the lobby was not being monitored. Nobody there. And that was the month that I was leaving the apartment early in the morning, uh, just before dawn to get to the park. Yeah. So this was at 5 something in the morning. Hey, good morning, Sophia. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I'm glad that you well. Yeah, I'm still in bed. But yeah, Sophia, what will you do? I'll pose the question to you. And when you have time, to give me an answer. Um, I believe at times I am not treated with respect due to my race. As you know, I'm a black woman, and the staff are all members of a particular ethnic group. They're all people of color, but I do not belong to their ethnic group. In New York City, about 99.9% of the people who work in apartments, like concierge and doormen, are all members of this particular ethnic group. And I'm one of the few black people, black Americans, black non Hispanic in this building. And there was an incident. I don't know if you heard me already mention this a moment ago. Um, I was in the lobby, walking very slowly. I had a lot of packaging in my hands. I was leaving to go outside. But ahead of me was a young white girl, blonde and blue-eyed type, very slim, petite, and she's probably in her early 20s, and she has a little puppy on a leash running, and they're all both running towards the exit door, and the doorman runs behind the desk to open the door for her, and he's all laughing, everybody's cheery, and I'm observing this, and I'm continue walking, and then when it's my turn, you know what happened? Nothing. They didn't get from behind the desk, and they didn't open the door for me, and I had two heavy packages. I was humiliated, and I didn't assert myself. This was many years ago, and I wasn't as uh, bold as I am now. Uh, and what happened to me yesterday? I have a stroller. I mean, Sophia, I think you saw my stroller before. That I have my little doggies. It's a big stroller, and this is early morning yesterday, Sunday, and I'm approaching the desk, and he's talking to, like, he's giving instruction to a new fellow that's working there, and there was the third one was a little further back. He looks at me and continues talking to the person, and then I'm thinking to myself, this guy's not going to open the door for me, and I got this big stroller, so I stop right in front of them, and then he turns his head and looks at me. I said, uh, please open the door for me. And I paused, and then I said, I have my stroller. Like I had to give an excuse why he should open the door for me. And then he just resolutely, he comes from behind the desk, and he opens the door. I said, thank you, have a nice day, and I left. But the anger, it really angered me. That's what happened. And I want to nip this thing in the bud. I do. One of the doormen, who helped me out in the past with something. He protected me from getting mugged, on September 1st of this year. We get along very well. Very nice person. And I told him about some of the incidences that happened in the past to me. and he was very understanding about it. Well, this morning, I didn't see the super. There's the super that lives on the premises, but it was Sunday, and I didn't want to. I said, I want to talk to him, but I won't say it today. If I bump into him, yes, I'll speak to him, but I said, uh, tell him tomorrow. Okay, thank you, Sophia, for responding. Yeah. And let me read what you say. Okay. You say, I'm sorry to hear, Spirit. I've had similar experiences even now, but with black men who tend to help women of other race and ignore you. I wouldn't worry about it. Just dismiss it. As for me, it's their own issues. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And you're living in Europe. You're in England, right? If I remember right, you're living in England. See, I'm at a point in my life. Oh, okay, yes, yes. Yeah, see, yeah, you have the COVID over there. They're very strict, I understand over there. Yeah, I don't like this. I love, as you've heard me many times, I love New York City. I'm born and raised here. And I'm sick of the subliminal messages that are being taught on television, on media, how you treat certain people. And I will not stand for it. And I'm tired of, like last year, they had Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. But the people that you see hurting other black people, I mean, hurting black people, are other black people. In New York City, it's not white people beating up black people. You have black people doing crime against other black people. And I want that to stop. I want us to love and respect each other. Yeah, last year was getting out of hand. And, things are trying to get back to so called normal in New York. The tourists are coming back. Yeah, you have a lot of tourists now. A lot of tourists from Central and South America and other parts of the state, like the Midwest or something like that. Yeah, it's slowly, it's almost, I would say 80% back, but a lot of the stores are closed and are still closing. I have to be honest with that. And I want to live here. Like I go to the park to get relaxation, to rejuvenate, and to keep I want to get the fresh air to, you know, get more oxygen, just so, 'cause I don't want to get sick. But I don't like this racism. I don't like the favoritism. I don't like it. Okay, you say, I've come to the point where it doesn't bother me anymore. I let them do what they do and I live my life. Yeah, okay. I respect that. Thank you for sharing that, Sophia. Thank you. I appreciate you and your honesty. This channel is about being honest with your feelings. And I respect people's, yeah, because you have to live your own life. And sometimes you just have to let it go. Like, let it go. Like, sometimes people may say something stupid. And sometimes you just let it go. But I feel like because I live here and I'm one of the senior residents of this building, and the fact is, I'm one of the few blacks in this building, you should respect me for that, for all those things. These people seem to forget who their mothers are. They're not white, they're people of color, and most of them come from the Caribbean, like myself. So either they come from a black woman or a Native American woman's background, not a white woman. and they're treating me like that, that I got like with like this. I don't want to tolerate. I'm tired of tolerating it. I live there and I pay my money, and that's how they get paid. That's where I'm coming from now. Yeah, it's that it's see, I don't want them in trouble. We live there. I don't like conflict. I really don't. But I feel that I was going to address the issue before, and then I just forgot about it. I feel that if you don't let them know, they'll continue. Um, I want it to stop. I'm not like I'm not gonna go out there with my bugle horn because of my building. But I feel that you're people coming from another country and you're gonna treat me this way? So they're actually reinforcing racism. They are it's not the white people. I'm gonna say it. It's not the white people, white Americans that are doing this, but the people of color from other countries that are targeting American blacks or who they perceive as being an American black. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing. I didn't know I was going to talk about this today, Sophia, because I started out talking about the visions that I had about, being outdoors and everything. I just know I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like, if I'm paying for a service, I want this, I think we're all to be treated the same way. I mean, sure, you might have a friend in the building. I'm not talking about things like that. Do your job. That's what I'm saying. Do your job. If your job is a doorman, open the door for everybody. Or they say, oh, well, I don't feel like open the door right now. I don't, you getting paid. Oh, that just reminds me. There was an incident that happened in a building nearby me. I made mention of this. Let me tell you this. See, the incident that happened it was early spring. Yes, it was springtime, early spring. It was the last week of. Is it? Do you feel that you will confront him about this? Oh, I'll talk to. I won't confront the individual, but I would. I mean, I won't confront the person who did it to me, but the super. The super, in fact, when I first came to the building, the super said, if you have any problems in this building, you let me know directly and not the office. You come to me first. That's okay. So, yes, I will go to the super. Yeah, me and the super talk a little bit. Sometimes he could be, uh, he could be a jerk. Um, But I think with this COVID and everything, and he saw that I got a tattoo. He was really impressed I got a tattoo. Um, he you know, and in fact, earlier this year, I had a very serious talk with him, and he responded maturely. So I will approach him again, talk to him in private, and have this resolved. Yeah, yeah. I think he would do something about it. Um, yeah, because he doesn't want to get in trouble. Uh, and I feel that um, that he needs to. Yeah, and I have it on tape. Yeah, because I carried that body cam. Yeah, I better get that. Take a look at it. Yeah, as proof. Yeah, I I don't like nonsense. I don't like nonsense. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. Um, what was I gonna say now? Oh God, what I was gonna say? Oh yeah, there was an incident that happened, and it was caught on camera. It was the incident of a woman about to walk past. It was on. She was on the sidewalk. She was walking on the sidewalk. She was going past a building, and right at the door of the building was a vicious attack of a guy stomping a woman. She's lucky she didn't die. He kicked her in the chest as she walked, like a kung fu kick. She falls on the ground, and then he starts stomping on her head. I kid you not, Sophia. I kid you not. And the doorman saw what's going on. There was also another individual. He was a FedEx guy, and I know the guy. I know the FedEx guy. He's a family man. I know him. He was just so he was delivering packages. He was in the lobby, and this thing just transpired right in front of him. Everybody could, the cameras could clearly see what's going on, and everybody's like in shock. And then the doorman closed the door. The guy leaves. The perpetrator leaves, and then the doorman closed the door. Now I can see, okay, if he was afraid during the attack, closing the door because he was afraid that he was going to come in. But to close the door after the lady's attack, then the guy goes away. Well, he got fired, and I think they said all of them got fired that was on duty at that time. Yeah. So I mentioned that story because see, uh, public outcry during this time that there is an expectancy that you're supposed to do your job as a doorman. And you're supposed to have rendered some type of aid, like calling the cops, you know. But a lot of buildings, let me tell you this though, in his defense, even though what I thought how he handled it was very awful. Um, there, lot people from the lobby people, people who work in buildings, at they're not supposed to get involved with outside affairs. They're instructed not to call, not to get involved with anything that happens outside the building. But it happened on their sidewalk. Because technically, like in the winter, they're supposed to shovel the snow, right, from their doorway. And it happened right at their doorway. So technically, it is their responsibility of what happens on that property, you know. Um, so there is a mindset that there's certain things that you should do and do and not to do. And if on camera, and it's that prevalent, that it's a possible case. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I just want them to do their job. That's all. That's all. And so yeah, I want them to open the door for me. I don't have to ask them, could you open the door for me? Open the fucking door. That's your job, your union, and I want to get a copy, I should get a copy of their union contract, what they're supposed to do. And this is a high-rise luxury building. You better open the fucking door. Yeah, any of you agree, people? If you're a doorman, shouldn't you open the door? Sometimes there's only one person on duty, but you should open the door. That's your job. To greet the people and to open the door, or if they have information, to relay information, pass on messages because sometimes there's a delivery and then they have to call the tenant. Oh, you have a delivery. Please come downstairs, or would you like them to come upstairs, right? Sometimes they slack and I don't like it because I take it personal. Yeah. Yeah, I see the sunlight is slowly coming up. You see that? The sky is getting brighter and brighter. Yeah, it's almost 7 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still in bed. Yeah, I had a lot on my chest. I wanted I think I need to, I want to overcome my fear, people. Yeah, I was always fearful because of, see, what what some black people, I think people in general, but especially if you're a member of a group that historically is not treated well, and female, that you're taught that you're not supposed to speak, you're supposed to be quiet. And if you speak, we're going to hurt you. And yes, growing up, when I tried to speak, I was hurt. I was squashed. I was punished. But there's a point where you have to stop being afraid. And in spite of the possible consequences, you got to speak out. Just like you have to speak out against this plandemic or pandemic. People are being forced to do things because they're being intimidated. They're using fear. They're threatening the military that if they don't take their so-called medicine, that they will be dishonorably removed from the military, or they get demoted. Could you believe that? The age of intimidation. That's what this pandemic is all about. It's about oppression. It's not about health and wellness. Not at all. And I'm getting to a point. I believe in peace. Thank you. Yeah. I believe in peace. And I try to avoid conflict as much as possible. I try to avoid it as much as possible. But it gotta stop. It gotta stop. I hate it. And I hate what they're doing. And I hate feeling that I'm being disrespected. Because I know if any of these people were disrespected, they would get really angry. So why can't I get angry? Yeah. So yeah, so that's my thoughts for the day. So again, I mentioned earlier in the video, because this video I started to initially to discuss the vision that I had. I had a vision about this property. It reminded me of the driveway where I used to live, the pavement that was alternating colors of gray, horizontal gray strips, medium light and medium dark in color. One of the colors was smooth and the other color was bumpy. It's very nicely done. Um, Green grass, very rich soil, and these plants. And then I told you about the dream I had, and in short, the dream that I had. I was in some type of thrift shop or something, and I had on this, somehow I tried on this mink coat, and I said, boy, this coat is real big and bulky. I look like some, like, I don't want people to think I'm some homeless person. But a lot of the homeless, they had these big bulky things. And then I noticed I had two other coats underneath that were open, and I had a dress on that I wanted to put a coat on because it was exposing my clothes, my undergarments, and I didn't want that. So I felt vulnerable. And yeah, that's basically what I Yeah. So, oops, I moved it. Yeah. So that's what, in short, those who are just coming aboard, this live stream. Um, I hope you enjoyed it, and it's thought provoking about what is reality, about uh, sorry. Sorry about that. Just cut itself off. Yeah, I'm just about to go now. But yeah, so that I'm just giving a quick wrap up. Is what I'm visioning. Is this about future events? Is it current, something current, or is it a parallel life? Who knows? But yes, thank you all for watching. Yeah, those of you who didn't hear the vision thing, you can, pull it to the very beginning and hear me. And the latter part, as I discussed, was about being serviced in a, if you live in an apartment, a high-rise apartment, and you have supposed to have 24/7 concierge and doorman service, and then they don't open the door for you, how would you feel? Yeah, those of you who are just getting that information, what would you do if you lived in a building and they didn't do their job and they didn't open the door, and you're one of the most senior people in the building? I've been here from almost the very, very beginning. The building was still being built when I moved in, and I was here for about 18 and a half years, and I think that's a long ass time, and I deserve that respect. Yes. So that's all. Don't let people disrespect you. And if somehow you can safely, politely express your, because sometimes people may not be aware of what they're doing, they may not be conscious of what they're doing, but you feel it and you don't like it. I think maybe it's time to speak out. Okay? So I'll let you guys know what happens because I do want to talk to the super about it. Um, I'm pissed. Yeah, I'll keep you guys abreast. If I do address the issue to the super or not, I think I'll address the address, let you know what happened. So again, I gotta get ready, take a shower. I may go out and walk the dogs. I don't know yet. Take care, guys. Enjoy your day, okay? Be safe. Bye bye.